Hey, hello everyone. Well, it's summer. Things are pretty slow. The markets did make a new high today, but then quickly reversed pretty much towards the end of the session, maybe midday, and then we almost, we definitely closed on the lows and almost flat on the day. I think they're trying to probably close this gap before a little bit of a bounce higher. I would not read into this one a whole lot. I don't think there is a whole lot to complain about here right at the moment. The RSI is still fine. It's just a small rejection from the all-time highs. Maybe doing a little bit of a shakeout. I don't see this as being a huge problem just yet. I mean, we need to see a bit more selling. We'll take a look at Bitcoin. We'll take a look at XRP and Ethereum here in a second on the wave counts. Cryptos continue to look fairly strong, maybe a bit extended, but again, not a lot of concern there as well. Just like the S&P and the markets are continuing to be in a pretty strong uptrend. You're looking at the Nasdaq, and here that continues to be well established above its 20-day moving average, above its 50. Yes, a bit extended, and we could pause, even pull back, without creating a lot of damage and a lot of drama in here. The RSI remains fine. I'm sure the PPO is good. The volume was a bit low here on this action today, but I do expect it to diminish this volume, as we're going into the month of July, August. Uh, because there's not going to be a lot of participation in here. We'll see, but look at the Magnificent Seven had a really good day today. They were up almost a 0.75%. 5761 on the MAGS ETF, nice and trending. Yes, a bit extended maybe from the 20, and I would measure, where you see situations like this back in here, this back in here, and see kind of what the percentage is, and just allow this index to kind of breathe once it reaches those, kind of extremes in price. But really a non-interrupted trend at the moment. Semiconductors, a little bit of a rejection from up high, but the RSI is just nicely hugging the trend line. Probably continuing to be a buyer on any pullbacks towards 50 RSI on semiconductors. FFTI, this is the IBD 50, a little bit more growth in here, so got a little bit of a pullback. Dow Jones, it's fine. IWM, I was expecting maybe a bit more upside from this guy, but it's so whippy. It's still, it's clearly above all the moving averages and trending. So I got no beef with it as long as it remains above 50 RSI and as long as it remains above that 20-day moving average. I'm continuing to remain bullish. Bitcoin continues to consolidate. I thought there was going to be another small wave moving. We'll take a look at the wave count, but again, I don't think it's really doing anything wrong in here. We're not going to talk about rates and the dollar. The dollar, it's kind of weakening again, continuing to be in a big uptrend, a downtrend, and rejecting at the 50-day moving average. So that's just a quick view on this. I continue to remain with a long exposure of over 90% to the market and different stocks. So I'm if I need to step back, I will. But for right now, things look fine. Let's take a look here at Ethereum. This one. It's been strong over the weekend. I think one of the strongest. The Ethereum Bitcoin ratio, it's in favor of Ethereum, obviously, for now. I'm still targeting this first 100% target equality with the wave one at about 43.95. The sequencing here continues to look incomplete. We are in a 1-2-1-2-1-2 type scenario, I think, where we're going to get 4 and 5, 4 and 5, 4 and 5. So I think there would be, a series. Maybe the biggest part of the move for now has been made, like in terms of its strength, but that doesn't mean you're going to sell off heavily. It could go sideways, maybe a bit lower, but then it will eventually find its way and continue to try to complete those upside waves, the ones that are missing in this sequence, until you're reaching somewhere near, I think, 100% equality on there. And then Bitcoin, just from this look, it's I had another wave in here in black that I thought there was going to be another move to complete this wave 3. It was looking kind of something like that. I moved this wave 3 back here. I think it's fitting. It's touching 161.8 of this wave 1. Maybe a wave 4 next, and then we'll see if we're going to get an extended 5th or if the market will create just another wave 1. So here's what I mean by that. If this, exhausts itself somewhere in the next, few days in here, and then it does this, and let's say completes a sequence and then starts to pull back, and something like that, it's possible that this is a wave 1 and 2, and then this becomes another wave 1, another wave 2, and then we continue to just trend up, continuing to go. But on any pullbacks, I would definitely watch this high back here. We wanted to stay above those highs. I think that's important for a continuous uptrend in Bitcoin. If we drop below that and close below that, then we got to revisit some of these things and see what's going on. And then we have this level back here. So there's probably going to be a lot of defense and a lot of bids placed in here, to kind of take this market higher in Bitcoin. And I didn't talk yet about XRP, so let's see how that's doing. That's also been acting fairly strong. And similarly, right, I'm looking for targets in the 450 area for now, 430, and the sequencing here, the impulsive sequence, does not look complete either. There is more. I mean, yes, again, I think the biggest part of the move, at least in this sequence, has been made, but it doesn't mean you're coming back. I think there should be more strength to continue to go towards $4 at least in XRP from kind of what I'm seeing right there. I know we reached equality with this one at about 314. We have the 161.8 about 427. We have some reverse fibs at 453. And here, I mean, I can try to exercise this 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4. Again, I'm not going to go into that. I don't think that it's worth it at the moment. I will remain focused for the targets up there. I mean, if somebody, let's say, bought, let's say on the break of this guy or on the break of this guy, and it's a trade, I think taking profits here is not a bad idea. One could just kind of reduce with 25% the position, and then place. You don't even have a good place to look at stops, but maybe before this wave high, somewhere down there, and I will continue to kind of try to give it room to continue to go. That's kind of my take on XRP. So listen, I'll leave it at that. Hopefully this was helpful. I'll talk to you later. Bye.